What exactly did you see? I came by here early this morning for fishing, right? But today I done hear some heckin' noise. I gone take me a look, and out of nowhere comes this black something rushing past me like mad. Old Nintendo gamer.
And son.
Hello and welcome to the subtle, smooth Japanese jazz happening in the background of Makoto Wakaido's Case Files Trilogy Deluxe with me, Old Nintendo Gamer. This is from a small little studio inside of Japan called Hakaba Bunko. They develop indie games centered around mystery-solving adventures, and this is just one of those games. So I have to give a big shout-out to Player 2 here, who are publishers and PAs for distributing games to content creators. Thank you very much, Fern. You have sent me this code from the Nintendo Switch eShop to play through Makoto Wakaido's Case Files Trilogy Deluxe. As I put my iPad down and turn my attention to this game by other publishers, Room 6. Let's press the button and get in here. So we're starting with, there's 3, well, it is a trilogy, so there should be 3 episodes to this. The Executioner's Linchpin, that is Case File 1. Then we got the Bogeyman's Woods, which is Case File 2. And the Phantom's Foot, which is Case File 3. There you go. Oh, the Weeping Hand Manor. There's a new case file by the looks of it. So there's 4 case files. Marvelous. Right, we're going to start in Case File 1, the Executioner Linchpin. Let's get going and see what this game has to offer. This game uses an autosave feature. Please don't quit the game while the icon on the top right of the screen is showing. The game is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to real people, companies, and organizations is purely coincidental. Here, for the little one. You're always so nice. You didn't need to. I do, and I know it. Anyway, see ya. Sure, thanks. Was it a friend of yours, Gramps? Oh, that's right. He's even got a little gift. Cool, thanks. Hey, won't you tell me another story from your detective days? Why not? Oh, let me think. Remember that murder case I told you about, the Light of the Martyrs, once? Of course, you never got to capture culprit, right? Right, but there's more to that story. We found a 3rd victim. And that brought the case to its tragic end. Ooh, nice. Executioner Linchpin. Between 1981 and 82, 2 murders took place in the K City H Prefecture, Japan. Kyoto. Oh, I have to press A there to move it on, I think. Both murder scenes showed the same gruesome sight. The victim had been decapitated and hung from a telephone pole. The investigation revealed that the 2 victims had something in common. They were devout members of the same religious group. The decapitation religious group. Nevertheless, despite their best efforts, the police were unable to pinpoint the murderer. Until in 1983, yet another man was found dead under similar circumstances. The crime scene. Examine people and things to gather clues. I can move with the D-pad or probably the L stick. A to examine and B to close this. So, A to talk as well. Hello? I'm Wakaido from the Prefectural Police. I'll be in charge of this case. Detective Wakaido, your reputation precedes you. I've already collected some information from the crime scene. Let me know if you need anything. Do we know who the poor fella is? We haven't been able to confirm his identity since he's missing his head. We are currently investigating to find out more. Cause of death? Well, I believe he was strangulated, then decapitated after death. The modus operandi seems to be the same as in those 2 past murders. The victim was decapitated. Found a new lead. You've got to find his head, I suppose. What's the estimated time of death? Our best estimate is between yesterday 11 p.m. and today 2 a.m. The body was found around 5 a.m. by a fisherman who was happening to be passing by. Did they only send you to the scene? No, sir. There's another officer with me. Feel free to ask him for any information as well. I'd better talk to the other cop, too. Estimated time of death. Found a new lead. Cool. Thank you, officer. Move on. I should listen to what the officers on the scene have to report. Okay. Hey.
Oh, Detective Wakaido. Wonderful to see you again.
You were on those other 2 murders as well, right? I'm counting on you.
Yes, sir. I will help you however I can.
So, what do you make of all this?
Our similarities with the cases from last year and the year before that are obvious. It's either a killer who loves the macabre or religion could be involved.
How should I go about gathering information?
Oh, you can raise certain pieces of information on your notepad. Then you'll be able to ask and find out more about him. Try it out on me, sir.
I'll try raising a piece of info on my notepad and talking to him again. Okay. So if I leave now, where's my notepad? My notepad is on X, very handy. The victim was decapitated, so I can press A. The victim was decapitated. Then I talk to him. Ah, that's very handy.
Detective, we have another ghastly case on our hands.
So what do you make of all this?
Oh, the similarities with it.
Oh, I've done this.
Obvious.
The body. That opens up this one, which is a new one, which is why it's flashing and bouncing around. New information. Tell me all we know about the victim's body.
Yes, sir. Just as in the murders from last year and 2 years ago, the head has been removed. The victim was wearing slacks and a long coat. He was probably in his 40s.
Are there any witnesses?
One, sir, the fisherman who found the body. We've kept him for questioning.
Victim, man, 40s, wearing coat. Found a new lead. Tell me all we know about the victim's body. Right, his head, put in 40s. Right, why is that still flashing, though? We kept him for questioning. Right, if I leave now, press X. Estimated time of death.
Detective, we have another ghastly case.
Oh, whatever. Sorry. Right, I'm getting used to the buttons and pressing things at the wrong time there. Estimated time of death. Here we go.
Oh, the murder took place at night, as I take it.
Oh, the murder took place at night, as I take it.
That seems to be correct, exactly like in the previous cases. I wonder what these serial murders are all about.
Let's see if I can bring that up.
Oh, Detective, we have another ghastly case.
The victim.
Oh, what do we know about...
what do we know about the victim?
Oh, only what we can guess from his clothing. An off-the-rack coat and leather shoes, both kind of worn out. Looks like a salesman, not a terribly successful one.
Right, okay. Maybe a salesman. Are you the fisherman?
Officer, I done seen the whole thing.
I'd like to know more about that. What exactly did you see?
I came by here early this morning for fishing, right? But today I done hear some wrecking noise. I gone take me a look, and out of nowhere comes this black something rushing past me like mad. I say, what's a swaying thing? So I better take one more better look, and some dead folk. Swaying thing. Done send the old heart racing, let me tell you.
What was that black thing you saw?
Ain't easy to say being dark around, no. But 'twas pretty heckin' big. Man, it must have been a man, tell you much. And it looked to me like he was fiddling with something.
A man at the crime scene fiddling with something. Right, it's a shame I have to leave and then press X. Surely this guy knows nothing about that. The black something, right? I'm gonna leave that for now.
Yes, detective, we have no more ghastly hands on our hands,
The case, finding clues, right? He knows nothing about the crime scene. Do you know anything about a man at the crime scene?
Detective Wakaido, we're waiting for you, sir.
No, he knows nothing as well. So it's time to look for some clues. What's this? There's some symbol drawn in blood. Found a new lead. No half-staff to mourn this guy. Suit pants and a long coat, male, somewhere in his 40s. Ain't getting much more information from this. The body is hanging from a telephone pole. I don't see any other of the victim's belongings around. What's this? His coat pocket is bulging. But there's nothing inside. Someone must have taken whatever it was inside it. I better ask the local cops. Alright, let's go and talk to this one first, because he's closer.
Oh, Detective Wakaido, we were waiting for you, sir.
Looks like something was taken out of the victim's pocket.
Yes, sir, I was just informed that this forensic found something that belonged to the victim.
It's a matchbox from a bar called the Bacchanal. The Bacchanal. I'm gonna call him Bacchanal, because it's like anyway.
The victim probably visited that location shortly before his death.
What's before his death? I've forgotten his voice. Matchbox from a bar. Lovely. Right, we will leave that. Let's see if he knows anything.
Detective, we have another ghastly murder on our hands.
Nope. Right, okay. I'll look for clues at the crime scene. No half-staff to mourn this guy. Leave. Right. Oh, we're there. Matchbox from a bar.
Detective Wakaido, we're waiting for you, sir. Detective, we have another ghastly case.
Finding clues. Leave. Do you know anything about the symbol on the road sign?
It's got me knee shaking, is all I know. Some curious stuff going on I got here. Detective, we got another ghastly case on our hands.
That symbol on the road sign, have you seen it before?
I think it's some religious cult who uses a similar one.
Always religious cults and religion. Look for more clues at the crime scene. Okay. Now I've raised everything here. There's a symbol drawn in blood. Does this man... Oh, deduce. Oh, now you press... I can just notice that at the top there. Flashing deduce plus. Right, I'm going to deduce something now. Time to put together all the info I got. We couldn't confirm the victim's identity. Why is that?
The victim was decapitated.
The victim was decapitated. Yeah, it's difficult to find out who someone is when they're missing their head. Oh, this is quite cool. We know little about the victim, but at least we got enough for a generic description. What kind of person was he? And the victim, man, 40s, wearing a coat. Alright, a man in his 40s wearing suit pants and a long coat. It's a graveyard, no? We also have a witness who could be a potential suspect. Who's our witness? Yeah, man at the crime scene. Now, the fisherman's testimony could prove a useful lead. Now, we don't know the first thing about the culprit. All we can do is retrace the victim's steps. Thankfully, we got 2 clues on the crime scene. One is a symbol of a religious cult, and the other is a piece of evidence that hints to a location the victim recently visited. What was that again? A matchbox from a bar. The Bacchanal. Exactly. Time to hit that bar for a round of questions. Lovely. Found a new location. Marvelous. Scrap the info. I'm not gonna need any more. Marvelous. Keep things nice, clear, and perfunctory. Crime scene. Bar. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 more locations after the bar. Right, okay. Hopefully they all go as smoothly as what has gone before. And Detective Wakaido. Bar Bacchanal. I'm gonna call it Bacchanal. Find new leads. Let's talk to the broad. May I?
What do you need, handsome? We aren't open yet.
There's been a murder close by. Has anyone seen anyone shady around?
That's how I describe most of our clientele. And we get new customers every day, so,
I'm on the job right now. Can't drink some booze. This looks like a shady customer.
Oh yeah, we aren't open yet, though.
Detective Wakaido. Wakaido. Police, I have a few questions.
Please, officer, mine is a reputable and entirely legal establishment.
Well, there's been a murder close by. Notice anything out of the ordinary?
A murder? Oh, around these parts we call it Wednesday. I'm always holed up in here, but I doubt if I saw anything that could help you.
Well, the victim had a matchbox from your bar. Know anything about that?
Oh, don't reckon I do. I value my customers' privacy. I can't just go around and run my mouth about everything I see here. Please find yourself something else to bother.
Barkeep won't collaborate, and I found a new lead. Okay, pal. If you choose, there you go, the barkeep won't collaborate. So I go and talk to her instead. What's the deal with the barkeep?
He's a bit cold, I know. I hear money's a bit tight. Maybe he'll warm up to you if you order something expensive.
Barkeep is broke. Thank you. You know what? Give me a whole bottle.
Oh, with pleasure. Thank you for your patronage. Let me know if I can help you with anything, officer.
Oh yeah, you can help me. Let's see if he talks to me now. Tell me about the guy who took the matchbox.
Oh, the matchbox, huh? Alright, he was half of a strange couple of guys, one with a long coat and another with a weird robe on him. They kept to themselves, were chatting to each other the whole time. Koda was sitting next to them, so maybe she caught something.
Koda?
That'll be the missy sitting over there. Doesn't run the place or anything, she's just an employee.
2 suspicious guests. I found a new lead. Thank you very much. I raise this. I go to Koda. Oh, what did the 2 men look like? Do you remember their faces? What kind of people they were? Anything?
Not really. Oh, now that I think about it, the man in the long coat looked like your average salesman. The other one looked like a wizard or something. Seriously, he was wearing a robe and he had this long beard. Believe me, he was just so creepy. Just thinking about him was giving me the chills.
Man with a robe and a long beard. Damn cultists. What were the 2 men talking about?
I wouldn't know. They were kind of whispering to each other. The bearded one with the robe did most of the talking. The one with the coat was hanging from his lips. And then the coat guy said he'd drunk enough for the night and he should go back to his hotel. The only hotel near here is Toyo, so I think that's the one he was talking about.
Hey, I got a hotel to visit. Thank you very much. But I'm still... I'm on the job right now. I knew he'd say that. I said that before. He said it right. Alright, I got a new lead. So does that mean I can leave? Y is move. So I can now go to the hotel. I don't think there's much else I can do in the bar at the moment. Does that mean I'm still... Yeah, right. Right. What's this? They have cameras. Maybe the CCTV recorded something useful. Found a new lead. That's 5. So yeah, it's very nice. It's and it's the receptionist's computer. How do I use this? Please enter the information you want to search for. Okay. Let's just talk to him first of all. Hello, sir. Welcome to the Toyo Hotel. Detective Wakaido, police. I want to ask you about a murder that took place last night.
Oh, you're with the police. I'd be happy to help you, officer.
Did you notice anything suspicious?
That's a very broad question.
Yes.
We welcome many guests here throughout the day, so... Are you looking for anyone in particular?
Did you see a couple of men coming in here together? One was wearing a long coat and the other one something like a robe.
I think we do have a guest who often wears a long coat. A long-term guest. His name was, yes, Mr. Aida. However, he did not come back to the hotel last night. I'm afraid I do not know anything about the man in the robe, however.
Coat man, Aida. Good. I wish I could, Can you show me the CCTV tapes?
Certainly. Please give me a minute. These are yesterday's images. You can see the man in the coat leaving the hotel. It looks like he's meeting with someone, but it doesn't show who that is, not clearly.
A middle-aged man with a long coat, that's our guy. Photo of the coat man's right. We got a photo now. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at this photo. Can you look up Aida and tell me his address? Yes, please wait. The computer's talking. Information found. His home address is not far from here. Why, he'd stay long-term in the hotel then. So, nice and straightforward so far, so I'm gonna leave. Thank you for your help. Oh, I can deduce. Really? Okay, let's deduce. Time to put together all the info I got. I retraced the victim's steps through the bar in the hotel. I got witnesses at the bar who saw a man taking a matchbox. He's not talking to a matchbox. Who did the barkeep see on the night of the murder? Two suspicious guests. That's right, the victim wasn't alone. The barkeep said he was there with someone. After I got enough info from the bar, I visited the hotel. There, I found the name that most likely belongs to the victim. What is this presumed victim's name? Coatman, Aida. Yes, the receptionist told me that the man in the coat is called Aida. At the bar, they told me about a man who was there with the victim. How did this potential suspect look? Man with a robe and a long beard. The people at the bar told me of a man with a robe and a long beard. If that's true. What I can't still figure out is why Edith was staying at the hotel. Why is it so weird for him to stay there? Aida's house is near the hotel. His own home is very close to the hotel. Now that I know his address, I better go and check out his house. What's this 0PT? Okay, yeah, we do have a bit of vibration. Actually, it's much easier to play with a D-pad rather than the Aida's apartment. I found a new location. I scrapped the info I'm not going to need anymore. Excellent. So now we're done with the hotel. We're going on to Aida's apartment and see if we can glean any useful, insightful information. Who are you? Detective Wakaido, police. I'm investigating a murder. I need to see Aida's apartment. Oh, sure you do. Sure, go look it, sweetie. Oh dear, wait. Did you say murder? Is Aida all right? I've been worried about him, you know. It's been a few days since I last saw him. What can you tell me about Aida, the man who lives here? Oh, Aida is a nice fellow, nice and neat, yes, yes. He couldn't get on with anyone's wrong side if he tried. Are these apartments rented? Oh, no, we all own ours. Aida and his missus have been living here for, 10 years now? Lovely woman, she is, lovely woman. Aida's been so gloomy since she was hospitalized, poor soul. Getting real deep into the lore. Where does Aida work? His wife told me it's, Kusamoto sales agency, was it? Yes, near the station, that's it, yes. The robed man. Did you happen to see a man with a long beard and a robe? Oh, I'm sure I did. That was on the last day I saw Aida, come to think of it. A robe and a beard, can you imagine? That's no proper folk, not at all. The apartment manager saw suspect too. Robe man seeing Neater's house, right? Good job. Well, do you know who the robe man is? You know about the Light of Martyrs cult, don't you, officer? Their followers they come and preach to our doors to. That fellow in the robe must have been the head priest. I've seen his face before, on the telly, was it? Cult, Light of Martyrs. Marvelous. Why is that still flashing? I know it's important. Right, so we're there. And photo of the coat man, just to make absolutely sure. Is this the man in the picture, Aida? Oh yes, no mistake, that's Aida, alright. Yes. The victim is Aida. Good. Anything else? This... Aida's house is near the hotel. Looks like Aida was staying long-term at the Toyo, the hotel near the station. Last month, was it? Aida told me he wanted to sell his apartment, out of the blue that was. I figured that maybe, you know, his missus has passed, and so I didn't pry any further, no siree. He must have sold all his furniture, you know, so maybe that's why he's staying at the hotel. Aida was gonna sell his house, huh? And that would explain why he was staying in that hotel.
Found a new lead.
Right, I think that should be all the information from that person. Thank you very much for your help. Let's go... Oh, there's... Didn't you notice there's blood everywhere? What do we have here? Would you look at this? There's barely any furniture in here. And the plastic sheet kind of contained it, but there's a ton of blood. The victim got decapitated here. This is a crime scene if I ever saw one. And the murderer must have washed his bloody hands here. And we have the murder, well, the decapitation weapon. Bloodstained saw. This must have been through the victim's neck. It's no cheapo saw either, brand stuff. There can't be that many stores carrying it. Head was cut off with a saw. Bloodstained. Oh, right, I saw the bloodstained saw. It's now cheapo one. Leave. Right, okay, can I... Right, I don't think this is the thing to raise with a thing, but his head was cut off with a saw in his apartment. Is there any hardware store nearby? Oh yes, this is what, and sure it is. That one, you know the name of the one, yes, you know the one, Cat's Hand, was the kitten logo. They sell this and that and tools and stuff, hardware stuff. Found a new shop. Thank you. I got 8 of 13 clues. Right, we're gonna go to the shop now. And just leave that crime scene for the manager to go and mop up. Don't touch the crime scene. General store, Cat's Hand. There are a few kinds of saws on display. So many brands. A saw I found on the murder scene. It was a Shark brand saw, I believe. What's this? Head priest pendant. They just left it there. Right, okay. That's a register. It's full of copies of receipts. Marvelous.
Hey, don't mess with the register. Welcome.
Detective Wakaido, I'm investigating a murder.
Detective? Murder? Well, that's a lot. Happy to help if I can.
Do you sell saws here?
Oh, we sure do. Anything from small DIY tools to professional woodworking instruments. They're on that shelf over there.
Let's go back to number 1. Did a man with a robe and a long beard come here?
A robe and a long beard? Oh,
right. Yeah, he was here yesterday. He bought a saw, a plastic sheet, and some other stuff. The guy off the telly is just walking around buying saws and plastic sheets. Buffoon. Do you know the man in the picture? I might be wrong, but I think it's a customer who's been here a few times. Why, was he involved in that murder case? Did you know the man from the picture came here yesterday?
No, I don't think he did. Still, I could be wrong.
Do you know about the cult called Light of Martyrs?
Don't know anything about cults, but the name rings a bell. Must have read it in a receipt or something.
Familiar name. Read it on a receipt. So he buys all tools and paraphernalia to chop someone's heads off and gives a receipt with his name on it. These cult martyrs are quite buffoons. Has anyone bought one of these saws recently?
Shark saws, I sold quite a few even just in the last few days.
Do you have a list of the buyers?
Nay, no such thing.
I found this on the floor between the shelves. Do you know it?
What's that? Never seen it before.
What can you tell me about the man with the robe?
I remember he bought a bunch of stuff. Saw, plastic sheets, duct tape. A pretty suspicious set of items, come to think of it.
You tell me, pal. No. That's the register. It's full of copies of receipts. What's this? This receipt says Religious Association Light of Martyrs. Found a new lead. Do you remember anything about this receipt? Who made the purchase?
Oh, that one. Right. It was a guy wearing a robe.
Yep, I thought so. Let's deduce.
It's time for deduction.
Let's see if we can do a single case in one episode there. Time to put together all the info I got. While retracing the steps of the man with the code, I found out the victim's identity. Who was he? Wait. I've forgotten what the question was. The victim is Aida. Even though the apartment manager confirmed it, she recognized the man in the picture taken by the hotel CCTV. And it's safe to assume that the man with the code is Aida. Now, the victim was killed and decapitated, but where did this happen? Murder took place at Aida's. Aida's home showed evidence of a murder taking place. Now, the evidence shows that the murder happened at Aida's home. I found the saw that was used to decapitate the victim, and I learned more about the bearded man with the robe. What organization did he belong to?
The Light of Martyrs.
I finally found out who the robe man is. TV personality walking around chopping people's heads off. What a guy. Saw used to decapitate the victim was purchased from the general store Cat's Hand. And in the store, I found some evidence bringing together the Light of Martyrs cult and the robe man who bought the saw.
And he dropped his pendant.
But does that really make sense? I should think it through again. Oh, what was the question? The saw used to decapitate the Cat's Hand, and in the store I found some evidence bringing together the Light and the robe man who bought the saw. Oh, it was come on, it was that and the receipt. Receipt to the Light of Martyrs. The Light of Martyrs is involved in this murder. There's probably no doubt about that. But I still can't see the connection between the cult and Aida. I should go and visit his workplace. I think I should visit his wife if she's still alive. Let's go to his workplace. I scrap the info I'm not going to need anymore. Right. Let's carry on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 more, 5 more locations. It's quite considerable. The locations keep on opening. Oh, we just came from a shop. I don't want to go to the shop. Sorry. Sorry, shopkeep. I'm pretty sure I got all the information I can from here. You did. Let's go to his workplace.
Who are you?
Detective Wakaido, please. I'm here to ask a little bit about Mr. Aida. I heard he worked here.
Why would the police want to know about Aida?
I'd like to know more about Aida, your employee.
He used to be a very diligent, straight-faced fellow. Used to be.
Used to be.
Just recently, he suddenly turned in his resignation. I tried to stop him, but he wouldn't listen. Said he got a call to faith or something.
Yep. Nope, I've done that one.
Straight-laced fella. Used to be. Resignation.
Did Aida ever tell you about anything about his wife?
Last year, I think it was, he told me she'd been hospitalized. Pretty serious condition. And the treatment was going to cost him an arm and a leg. Every day after work, he'd go and see her at the city hospital.
Do you know anything about the cult called Light of Martyrs?
That's the one that got Aida, isn't it? That's pretty much all I know about it.
A man has been murdered, and that man is very likely to be Aida.
What? Aida? Oh, he was never the type to get involved in anything like that.
What about trouble in the workplace? Any run-ins?
Absolutely not. I couldn't even imagine it. Aida was kind and affable. He stayed clear of any kind of trouble. If anything, everybody was grateful for him. Who'd hold a grudge against someone like that?
Money. It's always about money. I've heard that Aida was going to sell his apartment. Did you know anything about this?
Yes, I thought he needed to pay for his wife's treatment. But rumors here say he wanted to donate it all to that cult of his.
Of course he did. Cult will take everything you got. Alright, so that's everything he's got to say to me. On to what looks like the secretary. Detective Wakaido, I am with the police. Can I ask you a few questions about Aida?
Mr. Aida, is he alright?
Please tell me what you know about Aida.
He worked hard, but he never stood out much. And since his wife was hospitalized, he's been showing up less and less.
Did Aida ever talk about his wife?
Did he? He loved her so much he barely talked about anything else. And once she got hospitalized, you could see how much that got to him. It was a sorry sight.
Aida was very attached to his wife. Do you know anything about a cult called the Light of Martyrs?
That's the cult Aida was a member of, right? I heard rumors about their beliefs. I thought it better to keep my distance.
Wise.
Mr. Aida was convinced that donating his house to the cult would cure his wife of illness. Sounds like a huge scam if you ask me.
Somebody needed to. Aida was a follower. He was definitely a follower. A man has been murdered, and that man is very likely to be Aida.
That Mr. Aida, but why? He was such a good man, maybe too good to even see the evil in other people. But murdered? I'm at a loss for words.
Sorry to break it so ungently. How does she know about the head priest? Now, what about this? You seen this before?
It's not exactly like that, but all members of the cult wear a similar pendant.
Have you been to their church?
Aida invited me to one of their meetings once.
That's keeping you a distance, is it?
I ended up not going, but I should still have the flyer with their address.
Light of the Martyrs flyer. Found a new lead. Alright, done everything I can in this place. Thank you very much. Anything over here? No, let's move. To the hospital. Can I help you? Detective Wakaido, I'm with the police. I believe there's Mrs. Aida here. I need to talk to her about her husband. Oh, Aida, she's staying with us, yes. Is there anything I should know about? I'd like to hear about Mrs. Aida's husband. Since she's been staying with us, her husband has come to see her every single day. But he hasn't showed up yesterday. Apparently he's not answering her calls either. She's very worried. I got some seriously bad news. Tell me about Mrs. Aida's illness. If I left untreated, she would die within a year. She needs to be hospitalized and receive constant medical attention. Insurance doesn't cover this kind of treatment, so it's bound to be very expensive. So she's done for. And do you know anything about the cult called the Light of the Martyrs? Yeah, if you had the name, yes. But that's as much as I know. Wish I could press X from about the Light of the names of this B. It was very likely that Mr. Aida has been murdered. Really? Oh, that's most unfortunate. Who's going to pay for his wife now? Yes. What a thing to think of after a man has been murdered. And they've been paying for it? Yes, so far Mr. Aida has been paying all the bills on time without fail. And what if he stopped? Then I'm afraid we'd have to discharge her. Detective Wakaido, please. Are you Mrs. Aida? Did anything happen to my husband? Have you noticed anything abnormal in your husband's behavior as of late? For one thing, he's been looking really stressed out for the past few weeks. He used to come see me every day, but now he won't even answer my calls. Is he alright? I need to tell her immediately that, Are you familiar with a cult called Light of Martyrs? I've never even heard about it. What does that have to do with my husband anyway? I'm mortified, ma'am, but it's very likely that your husband has been murdered. What? That's impossible. Why would anyone murder him? He never hurt a fly. Have you heard about his plans to sell the house? Not one word. I leave all money matters to him. Have you heard his not one word. I'll leave matters, money matters. Aida's business. So I assume that his plans to donate the house to the cult is news to you as well. I can't believe he'd ever do something like that. They probably promised him that, oh, we'll fix your wife. Your husband was known by his colleagues for how much he loved you. I see. He put everything on the line for my sake. I don't understand how this could happen to him. The thing is, he was a member of that cult. If he was, I'm sure he'd have told me. Wife didn't know he was in a cult. How are you paying for your treatment? My husband always took care of it. He even bought life insurance just in case. All for my sake. He had bought life insurance, but he... Deduce. Let's go and deduce, and I think we'll end it here after the deduction. Trying to keep it under an hour. Time to put together all the information I got. I got a clearer picture of Aida's situation prior to the murder. At his workplace, he was seen as a good, diligent man. The only one thing troubling him was his wife's illness. What about this was he concerned about? Medical bills too much for Aida. His wife needs constant medical attention to stay alive. Paying for this treatment must have been a huge toll on Aida's finances. But he wasn't likely to give her up. Talking to his colleague makes something else clear. Aida got involved with the cult and started showing up less and frequently at work. He'd become convinced that Faith could save his wife. He even handed a cult flyer to that same colleague. How was he involved with the Light of Martyrs cult? He wanted to gift his house to the cult, but does he really make sense? I should think it through again. You should, you buffoon. How was he? What was the question? He'd convinced the Faith he could save his wife. How was he involved with the? How was he involved? He was a follower. Even at work, it was no secret that Aida was a cult member. In light of his wife's illness, Faith was probably the only straw he could grasp at. As he was a follower of the cultism, Aida was known for how much he loved his wife. He visited her at the hospital every single day after work. His wife's testimony makes me think the two spoke a lot during these visits. But there was something that he never told her about. What did he keep his wife in the dark about? His wife didn't know he was in a cult. Well, his colleagues knew that Aida was a cult member, but somehow his wife didn't. Most likely he didn't want her to worry. When Aida was planning to sell his house, I assumed he'd use the proceeds to pay for his wife's medical bills, but I was wrong. What was he planning to do with the house? He wanted to gift the house to the cult. Aida probably felt like he was in the middle of a long, dark tunnel. And the light he saw at the end of it was the light of the martyrs. It's pretty clear they're involved somehow. I need to get some hard proof to show the cult had a hand in this, apart from the head priest buying the weapons of destruction. What cult church? Yay, we're off to meet the wizard, the wonderful robed bearded wizard of Oz. Scrap the info I'm not going to need anymore. Let's go, Makoto Wakaido. Right then, in the next episode we go only 2 more locations. Oh, let's push through. Come on, let's push through.
May the light of the martyrs shine. Welcome to the Church of the Light of Martyrs. If you wish to be enlightened about our faith, feel free to ask me.
What do you people believe in?
We of the Light of the Martyrs believe in the spirit of self-sacrifice. Sacrificing oneself is the key that will lead humanity to its next stage.
Who's the head priest of this church?
Our head priest is the Venerable Sata, the first martyr.
What do you mean by first martyr?
Right, as the world was falling into darkness, the Venerable Sata became a martyr. He decapitated himself and through the sacrifice rescued the world. We all owe our lives to him.
I think this place should be shut down. Religious belief, self-decapitation.
May the light of the martyrs shine.
Oh, wait there, Uh-oh. Earthquake. This is the second earthquake today. We just had a big 6.2 earthquake. It is shaking, but it's not as big as the first one. It's an aftershock, yeah. But it's still big. Big enough. Right, why doesn't... Right, so I raised that and she...
May the light of the martyrs shine.
Right, so she doesn't actually talk about...
May the light of the martyrs shine.
Do you know this pendant?
Did somebody drop that? I'm afraid it's not mine.
Oh, maybe that's a different acolyte. Yeah, it's a different acolyte, the first one.
May the light of the martyrs shine.
Let me get this straight. The head priest saved the world, it's still shaking, by cutting off his own head.
Precisely. He has saved us all by decapitating himself twice in the past.
You can't be serious.
Say what you will, but I have seen the Venerable Sata with his head cut off, with my very own eyes. It was a dreadful sight to witness, but then he came back to life.
People. Long beard and a robe. Is this the head priest? He's killing other people and pretending it's, himself, huh?
May the light of the martyrs shine.
Who's this person in the portrait on the wall?
That is the first martyr, the Venerable Sata.
Thank you for your absolute nonsense. Can I ask you something? May the light of the martyrs shine. The spirit of self-sacrifice will change the world. I don't think that guy is going to help me. This guy, however, might. May the light of the martyrs shine. Self-sacrifice, yes, if you sacrifice yourself, any wish can come true. Are you a member of this cult too? Of course I am. Since I joined the Light of Martyrs, everything in my life has started going well. Everything. Coming to the church every day is what made me as happy as I am. Got any wish granted while you were here? I'm sure did. My parents, who come from a long line of artisans, were constantly pressuring and abusing me, and I wished for them to stop. But as soon as I sacrificed a finger from my right hand, all the abuse stopped. This is the power of self-sacrifice. You, sacrificed your finger? Exactly. It was the venerable Sata, the martyr of miracles himself, who cut off my right index finger. It was the greatest of honors. Sorry, are you a idiot? May the light of the martyrs shine. This man is called Aida. Have you seen him? I have, yes. He wasn't that consistent with his visits at the church, however. But I have seen him talk with both the Venerable Sata and Lesser Grand Priest. May the light of the martyrs shine. Have you been to a shop called the Cat's Hand? I do not visit indecent shops. Indecent, eh? Alright, maybe that is him done. On to, this looks like a head priest of some sort. May the light of the martyrs shine. I am the Lesser Grand Priest. Let me know if you wish to join us or make a donation. You're asking for donations. We never ask for anything. Our followers simply decide to sacrifice themselves and their belongings out of their own volition. Self-sacrifice opens the path to understanding the world's truth, which is, sacrifice everything and you too may be blessed with the Venerable Sata's sacred light. Does this belong to your church? Where did you find this? This is a symbol from the Light of Martyrs. I am positive that it is ours. However, it is slightly different from the ones we wear. Could it be the head priest's? It most certainly is. Marvelous. Thank you for the information that you just put your priest in jail. May the light of the martyrs shine. This man is called Aida. Have you ever seen him around here? We are visited daily by droves of followers wishing to see the Venerable Sata. It's difficult to say. You're hiding something, pal. We know he was here. May the light of the martyrs shine. See this receipt? This proves your cult is involved in a murder case. Your cult ain't praying his way out of this one, bud. Catch my drift? You foolish heretic. You do not understand the Venerable Sata. He does what must be done. Nothing more, nothing less. He would never murder someone. Begone! Stop lying. Are you going to arrest us all? I have done nothing. I know nothing. You're talking to people to tell them to kill. Tell me where Sada is. I have no way to contact him. All we can do is keep sacrificing ourselves and praying until his much-awaited safe return. I was so worried that I personally visited his house, but he wasn't there. Oh, so you know where he is. Where's his house? May the light of the martyrs shine. One of your followers said that he'd seen you and Sada talk with Aida. The head priest and I... Oh yes, I remember now. Mr. Aida wanted to donate his house and make a special sacrifice, so I introduced him to the Venerable Sata. Finally, a link between Aida and that bearded bozo. He was very passionate as he spoke to the head priest. They even left the church together yesterday. Thank you. They left together on the day of the murder, and Sada hasn't come back yet. Find new leads. I got one more lead, so maybe, just maybe. No, that is it. There's nothing back here. Is this the guy, head priest? Do I need to move to... No. Right, there's another piece of evidence here, the cult church, that I'm missing. I can probably get some more information from the people here. But nothing that I've got in my hand. May the light of the martyrs shine. Maybe this guy. Hey. Sacrifice thyself, there will lead you to the next stage. May the light of the martyrs shine. One of your followers said that he'd seen you talking inside. Oh, the head priest, oh yes, I remember. We just did that one. What's this special sacrifice you're talking about?
The greater one's wish, the stronger their resolve must be in order to have it granted. Self-sacrifice is proof of that resolve. It can take on any of several shapes. For example, as first martyr, the Venerable Sada sacrifices priceless life. God thought it was necessary for him to come back to life, and so he did. He is the only person to ever reach the next stage.
What did Aida end up sacrificing?
That is between him and the head priest.
May the light of the martyrs shine. Tell me where Sada is.
I have no way to contact him, but
you know his house. Right, there must be... Right, there's nothing here.
May the light of the martyrs shine.
Does this pendant belong to your church? Where do you find this? Blah, blah, blah. We've done that one as well. Oh, I want to meet the head priest. I want to meet this Sata, the head priest.
The head priest left yesterday and has not returned yet. He said he was seeking new places where to sacrifice his venerable self. I am afraid he will not be back anytime soon.
Right. Sata has no alibi. I think that is 10 out of 10.
We now deduce. Sata, you blighter.
Trying to put together all the information I got. The man who's been seen in and around the crime scene with a long beard and robe, who was he? Sata, the head priest. But does that really make sense? I should think it through again. What? Time to put together. The man who's been seen in and around the crime scene with a long beard and a robe, who was he? He was Sata. Head priest portrait, but does that really make sense? Don't tell me there's 3 Satas here. Sata, longbow, right, okay. Sata, long beard and robe. The man with Sata, yeah, so which is the right. We know it's Sata. The 3 things I could have chosen Sata from, though. His cult believes in salvation through self-sacrifice, and the gruesome, absurd belief is insane. Religious belief, self-decapitation. The cult's doctrine is centered around self-sacrifice. Saving the world by cutting your head off. What a joke. They're mostly likely involved in this case and in the 2 past murders as well. One of the cult's followers said that he had seen Sata and Aida talk with each other. And I've also found solid proof of Sata's involvement in this case at the general store. What's that piece of proof? Head priest pendant. But does that really make sense? It is. Oh, the receipts again. Let's follow each other and Sada's involvement at the general store. What's this piece of proof? Pendant is Sada's. This pendant belonged to Sada. He must have dropped it while he was shopping for the saw.
Damn.
Dropping vital evidence at the wrong time. And I even got a testimony regarding what he did on the day of the murder. What was that? Sada met Aida on the day of the murder. I've got enough evidence to prove that the murderer was Sada. Now I only need to arrest him and get a confession. Let's check out the cliff over there. Let's go check out the cliff. I scrap the info I'm not going to need anymore. Come on, Sada, you're going to jump off the cliff. Self-sacrifice and all that. It's the last location. It would make sense for him to pop his clogs. But he doesn't sound like the type of man who would kill himself, just kill others. When his wife was hospitalized, Aida turned to the Light of Martyrs for help. And the cult's belief is self-sacrifice can grant wishes. Aida must have thought that by quitting his job and donating his house, he could save his wife. That's how Sata, the head priest, does it. He prays on the weak and their suffering. And there's a good chance for those 2 other murders are linked to this as well. Huh? What's that? Sada, it's over. Sada, it's over. End of the line.
And who are you?
Detective Wakaido, police, and you're Sada, head priest of the Light of the Martyrs, I presume. Police? I see. It is over, you say. You have followed my steps all this way, and you still don't understand. You see me now as I have worked my 3rd miracle and once again defeated death. 3rd miracle, I call that a 3rd murder. You used Aida's weakness to help him donate his house and buy life insurance, and then you killed him. You cut off his head and showed off his body to make it look like a miracle. You needed him to die for the insurance money, didn't you? You say all that as if you knew it to be true. Oh, there are witness testimonies detailing your every move since you left the church with Aida. And the symbol you drew near his body, that was to link it to your phony miracle. You instructed the lesser Grand Priest on what to say to buy yourself time after the murder. And you were seen at the bar, and near Aida's apartment. And how did you explain the receipt from the cat's hand? Is His Holiness into woodworking?
What's that supposed to mean? Is this the lesser Grand Priest who makes all purchases for the church?
That ain't flying. Look here. See this pendant with a cult symbol on it? I found it at the cat's hand near the shelf with the saws. It's not like the other members, it's yours. That beard, that robe, and that pendant. So much for your saint costume. You made yourself one easy-to-remember suspect, Sata. You're probably used to your followers creating alibis for you until now, but your luck's run out this time.
I have worked miracles.
No, Sada. What you did is kill people.
Even as we speak, there are lots of lost souls out there who need to know of self-sacrifice to be saved.
Spare me the sermon. You tricked all those schmucks into giving you money, but it won't work on me.
You foolish man, who cannot believe in miracles. I will show you one right now.
Wait, Sada.
I am ready to sacrifice myself to save the world.
Wait.
Stop! I am the savior with my sacrifice. I will redeem the world. Sata!
Wakaido, you should have gone there with... What a buffoon. Right after saying that, Sada jumped off a cliff.
Did Sada get away?
Beats me. Best I could do was getting him cornered.
Schmucks!
I failed to get justice for Aida, and I couldn't even catch the prime suspect. He's pretty dead. All I could do was look down from the cliff with clenching my fist around Sada's pendant. Wasn't much of a story, huh? Sorry to bore you. Oh, wasn't much of a story, huh? Sorry to bore you. Now, want to head home?
Wait a second. What's wrong?
What's wrong? This is the cliff.
There are a couple of things about your story that don't sit right with me. Gramps, you're lying, ain't ya?
What are you talking about, Makoto?
Sorry, but I don't want to go home with all my doubts are still stuck in a maze.
Oh, Makoto's the boy.
I'm Makoto Wakaido. We'll solve this mystery.
Yay. Cool.
Time to put together all I know. What is it about my story that's bugging you? Well, it's difficult to put into words. What you told me is believable, but there are a couple of weird turns.
And what would those be?
Yeah, first one is, a pendant. When you first found that pendant, what did you call it? Is that really so? Let's think it through again. When you first saw the pendant, what did you call it? Yeah, you said it was the head priest pendant.
How did you know that? Yes. And I was right, wasn't I?
You were, or rather, you turned out to be. But when did you just found it in the shop? You had no way of knowing who it belonged to.
Granted, but what of it?
That inconsistency made me realize something. I thought that maybe you were trying to set up a misdirection.
What do you mean, misdirection?
You know, like in the mystery novels, you were leading me to an explanation that was plausible but wrong.
What?
It all makes more sense this way. My theory is that you were pretending to investigate. In reality, you were setting up clues.
Why in the world would I do that?
Because you already knew the truth. That's what I think. And there's one more thing about the pendant that doesn't make sense.
This little boy, Makoto, is cool, and it's all about the little boy, not the old grandfather. Marvelous. And what's that?
When you showed me the pendant around while questioning people, they all responded in the same way.
Isn't that really so? No, they said they didn't see. They said they never seen it. A lot of them.
Right. Several witnesses said they'd seen a man wearing a robe, but none of them mentioned having seen that pendant.
Are you saying that the pendant didn't belong to him?
That's not quite right either. I think he was wearing it, but he had a long beard covering it and nobody could see it. Now, where do you think did you really find the pendant?
Is that really so? Let's think it through again. Where did I really find the pendant?
Is that really so?
Aida's house, of course. It's Aida's pendant, really?
Aida's house, what?
That's the only explanation, really.
There's only one way you could have seen the pendant normally hidden by Sada's beard. And that's when his head had been cut off.
Huh? So you're saying...
Yes, the truth is... Right, Sata wasn't the culprit. Aida, who tried to pass off as the victim, was a real murderer.
So Aida killed Sata?
Gramps, Aida was alive the whole time.
Makoto, you got something in you, something special. I'm sorry I lied to you. You're right, Aida's still alive.
Will you tell me what really happened?
You're too bright for my lies, alright, champ? Remember that this happened in the 80s. Scientific investigation wasn't as precise back then. After the second cult follower murder, the head office wanted to end things quickly without wasting time looking for suspects. Wouldn't surprise me if the Light of Martyrs was pulling their strings. Those were bleak days. I ignored the brass and started investigating on my own. I set my sights on the Light of Martyrs head priest Sata and started following him. It just so happened that he found himself a new lamb to sacrifice. His name was Aida. The two walked together into Aida's house. I was right outside listening. All of a sudden I heard fighting. What else could I do? I broke in. He saved Aida. What's going on? You. Sata. You're Aida, ain't you? What happened here? I made a terrible mistake. As I was finishing up the papers to donate my house, this man attacked me out of the blue. I fought back, lost control, and ended up strangling him. And who are you? I'm a police detective. I was following Sata. I guess this is as much following as I'm going to get done. But detective, does that mean I'm under arrest? I don't care what happens to me, but if I go to prison, who will look after my wife? Please, won't you at least help her? Tell me about her situation. The story filled me with sympathy. I swore I'd help his wife, and I did so, betraying both the police and the world at large. We set Sata up. We made it look like Aida had been killed while Sata was still alive. We cut off Sata's head with a saw we bought from the general shop. That's when I found the pendant. I pretended I found it during the investigation. Aida and I parted ways at the cliff, and after letting him go, I wrote a false report. I used his insurance money to pay for his wife's medical bills while protecting the secret. Nice.
So that's how it really went.
Oh, I'm really sorry I tried to fool you. I've been fooling everyone for so long now.
Gramps, did Mrs. Aida ever get well?
She did. Her husband and I were able to see her final moments just a few days ago. They told me they were grateful for the years I afforded them. They lived them modestly but in peace.
I see. So that friend of yours from earlier must have been Aida.
Can't hide anything from you, can I?
Detective Wakaido?
Yeah?
The case is closed.
Marvelous job, Makoto.
And I like that little twist at the end, Makoto being the boy. The executioner's Linchpin, Makoto Wakaido's case files number 1 is done. They say it takes about an hour. That took longer than an hour, but I have been talking rather than reading slowly. Thank you for watching the first of the trilogy, even though there seems to be 4 cases in this. I'll be working my way delightfully through all of the cases. Thank you very much for watching this one. I'll let this run a little bit and say goodbye here. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. We also have a private Discord server for some laid-back gaming chat, and if you're feeling generous, you can support us via Ko-fi. All the relevant links are in the description below.